So I think that Blackbeard is actually an admirable villain. And let me explain. Because the main thing in the community is that it's hard to admire Blackbeard or to respect him as a potential final antagonist because he always off screens his victories. He's always using subterfuge and deception. He shows up at Marine Corps when everybody's tired. Like he doesn't fight anybody directly. He doesn't seem to be that strong. All that. And if you compare him to a villain from another anime like Naruto, let's pull up Madara. Madara is somebody that you would admire, not necessarily their viewpoint, although some of y'all do. I think y'all crazy, but not necessarily his viewpoint, his morals. But I mean, you admire like the honor of fighting. Like, he called Might Guy the strongest, when he was up against the whole Shinobi forces and the Tail Beast, he just went and fought them hand to hand. He didn't even want to fight until Hashirama would come and fight him one on one. And you admire villains like that who are tough, who are strong, who have a sense of like samurai honor in battle, that kind of thing. Like we respect that. You admire those villains, even if you don't agree with their worldview, right? So then you have someone like Blackbeard, and Blackbeard, in contrast, would do none of those things. He would wait to the opportune moment. He would sneak up on somebody. He would never just fight somebody head on. He gets beat up a lot. He begs for his life, all that stuff. And it's like, that's why a lot of people don't admire him and don't like him for a final villain. But here's what I think. I think that actually makes him admirable, but just for a different reason. Now that we have seen God Valley, now that we have seen Rocks, here's what I think. I think that from childhood, somehow he knew I am not as strong as my father, and I never will be. I really don't know what within the story will be the reason for that, but somehow he would know I can never obtain to the strength of my father. He was a freak of nature, or maybe I'm a run. I don't know what the story reason would be. Just I'm glossing over that part. But I'm saying somehow he knew from a young age that he could not obtain to the level of power that his father had. However, he still had instilled in him by his mom that you have to fulfill the promise. You have to finish Davy Jones' pledge, promise, legacy, whatever. And so the admirable thing about Blackbeard is, what do you do when you are given a responsibility too great for you to bear because you don't have the strength to do it? Do you just abdicate and say, no, I can't do that, I'm not my dad? Or do you say, even though I am weak, I will still honor the promise and I will finish the fight and I will do it by any means necessary? So he uses subterfuge. He uses misdirection. He uses begging for his life, because at the end of the day, he doesn't have self-pride. All he cares about is fulfilling the promise and fulfilling the legacy of his father. And that is what makes him an admirable villain. Not because you like his worldview, not because you like his methods, but because in spite of who he is still going to get the job done and fulfill the legacy. That's my take. Just something I thought about like 2 seconds ago. What do you think?